Happy midweek, Claire.
Happy midweek. Okay, let's start sharing.
Yep. Let's get the page out. All right. Session number 16.
Session number 16. Okay. Brunei FM. Okay, all right. Okay.
All right, let's get it going.
A very good evening. Live from Malaysia, the wiring specialist, Miss Andrea Chow and Miss Claire Kiao. How are all of you doing today? Hope all of you are well. Today is our number
16.
16th session, which means we've been on live for 16 sessions talking about different exciting topics, and today we're going to continue with elements of value.
Value.
Andrea, share with us. This is really your expert.
Okay, why another round or another topic of elements of value? It's because today we're going to talk to you about B2B. So if you're a business serving another business, this is for you.
Yes, B2B, meaning
Yep.
that you're selling to a business, an organization, an SME.
And basically, the decision making to buy anything for a corporate is actually based upon 40 elements. 40.
Wow.
Yep.
40. Okay.
So it's a lot more than what you think it is, because in the typical of where you're talking about the B2C, it was only 30.
The last session, we spoke about selling directly to consumers. We call that B2C, but today we're talking about B2B.
Yep, exactly. So that's where we are now. And if you're talking about this particular elements of value and why is it so important, is because it's actually the gist of how anybody actually make decision to purchase anything at all in the world.
You hear that? That's a secret. Wouldn't you like to learn what are the underlying secrets of how anybody would want to buy something? Well, I would definitely tune in.
Okay, now show me your ears, get your notepads. So this morning, I actually woke up and I did this little research on Amazon, and I was saying that, hey, if you type in this word called sales process, it gives you 80,000, 70,000 or 80,000 books.
Wow.
Okay. However, if you type in the word buying process, you only get it in the thousands.
Interesting.
It's only about like 8,000. Yep. So can you imagine, like, hey, why are we giving ourselves so much of focus on a process where people are not very pleasant and not very happy to hear about, and very little attention and focus given to a topic that people are very happy after doing that action of buying?
Right.
Isn't it strange?
Yes. I think it's because not many has the aha moment. In fact, like for myself, only recently I learned about it. That's why our mantra, sales wiring specialist mantra, is
Everyone
can buy.
And once you actually master the elements of value, what you actually notice is that there's very little or none at all of the objections that's coming to you.
Wow.
Especially understanding that, especially like in an Asia context, in a Malaysia context, where price is very, very sensitive. The last thing that you want to get into, it's a price war that it's not after win-win, but it's everybody loses except the consumers.
Yeah. You know, we used to talk about the NLP, you know, before you go out to battle in the sales, you prepare your mind, prepare yourself. But this is more than just, we need to go beyond. It's not just preparing. You can prepare your mind, you're in the battlefield, you're ready. But if you don't have that skill of that powerful and meaningful conversations, you're not going to get anyone to buy from you.
So for those that is actually selling to B2B, some of the tips or some of the techniques that I'll share today is that you must understand that there are 5 different levels in making a decision to buy in any corporate at all.
Right,
Okay.
we're all ears.
Now, the first one is talking about the table stakes. Things, for example, the basic of meeting a certain law or compliance, meeting the ethical standards, whether you are within the price range, especially those controlled products, or things like, you know, whether you meet a certain specification or standards of the quality, like ISO, for example. Okay. So that's the minimum lowest level in that whole triangle, table
And
stakes.
table stakes.
Yep. The second, of course, is talking about how functional your products or services is.
Okay.
And this functional is actually based on two categories here. In terms of economy, so your cost, right? And also, of course, the other word that we always use in any organization is, can you actually help better the performance? Improve the
The
performance.
performance, right?
Okay, so it must be functional.
Functional.
Yeah. So we have table stakes, 1, 2, functional value, 3, ease of doing business value.
Share a bit more. Ease of
Share a
doing
bit more.
value.
So all you need is 5 fingers.
Wow. Okay.
1, productivity. 2, relationship.
Relationship.
3, operational.
Operational.
4, accessibility.
Accessibility.
5, strategic.
5, strategic. Could you explain each one in detail?
Okay, so productivity looks at, can you help people save time, hassle-free, decrease the effort, better information, better transparency of information, or even the speed of getting some information out. For example, if you could help people master their Excel skills and they can get the report out faster, that would be under that productivity. Okay. And in doing business, we are not alone. Whether it's employee, employer, whether it's actually business and vendors, suppliers, logistics, supply chain, you're in a relationship. So you need to have unless the product can actually meet this requirement of helping or improving relationship. Okay. Whether it's in areas of responsiveness, whether it's the commitments, or whether it's a cultural fit. Okay. Third one, operational. Of course, all business needs to have a smooth operations, a sustainable one that can withstand any crisis management, for example. So do you have an operation that is with good connection, with a good integration, as well as a simple one, user-friendly? Okay.
It's fast to pivot just when you say that can withstand.
Correct.
Crisis.
The thing is that whether you can pivot, whether it sustain all sorts of crises, whether you have one that, you know, the integration is simpler, where your IT can actually be friendly enough to talk to other systems, right? Then we talk about accessibility.
Accessibility.
Yep. So these days, accessibility, it's always talking about your availability. Are you online? Do you have a full logistic service and supply chain where you could actually have deliveries? And do you have variety?
Nice.
Do you have a configuration where I can integrate it into my system or my platform, for example, like payment gateway?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
So the thing in business these days, it's no longer talking about, hey, those days if you're in that mind with regards to accessibility, it could be like, where is your location of your shop? However, these days location is never an issue. It's all the rest of the platforms. Can people shop 24 hours? Is it easy to make payment? Do you accept, like, for example, online transfer versus credit card, etc., etc., etc.?
True.
So the IT lingo have actually come into all of these previous business models or theory.
Wow. So that's the third level, huh?
Yep. The thing is that for any business owners out there, doesn't matter which canvas you're using, whether which business model you're using, the extent of it have got to incorporate the IT or the technology side of that sort of that business.
Yes. You
Yep.
can't live without that.
Yep. And of course, the number 5 that I want to talk about at the level of ease of doing business value is actually strategic. So
Okay.
having said the online business these days, one of the things that you have to really put a bit more effort is actually the risk, which is the security issues.
Ah.
Yeah. Where you talk about, payment and etc. etc. This sort of things needs that security. So for
Interesting.
example, one typical example is that, hey, some of my friends says that, hey, I want to do overseas business. So the common payment gateway is actually PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
However, all of us also know that PayPal costs a little bit more as compared to any other brands out there.
Ah.
Would you want to put yourself at risk of using a lesser than famous brand, or would you actually pay a little bit more and pay for PayPal?
Yeah. Makes sense.
So something to consider. One of the quality components that's in there, which is also one of the considerations people look at when they make that payment, because if it looks dodgy, they probably exit. So you don't want the leakages and you don't want the fall off.
It sounds also like professionalism for the B2B. It's here, right? Professionalism.
Professionalism, user experience, the ability to capture someone on a repeated basis. If there's so many red tapes everywhere, I probably do it once and never want to come back again unless you force me to. Put a gun on my head.
So, Andrea, can we say that for us to be game changers in our industry, we should look at these 5 levels and not just meet the one? Because a lot of our competitors out there, most are already in the table, maybe table stakes and functional value, which is level 1 and 2.
Yep.
But we should be going above that.
Yep. And Claire, up until now, I'm only at level 3. I've
Level
not
3.
reached 4 and 5 yet. Yeah, there's still a lot to go. I'm just going to go on onto that 2 levels, and then we can take on other areas of discussion. So the 4th level is actually talking about serving at an individual level.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Serving at individual level to a B.
Yes, to a B2B. What does it mean? Okay, for example, in terms of, like, if someone is offering a certification or university degree to working people, working adults, for example, they want to catch up on their capability of progressing in their resume or their career ladder. They may want to look at that career advancement in areas of whether they become more marketable. Can they expand their network?
Yeah.
And also that reputational assurance kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that Claire, you have got a very strong impression of a video that I sent to you this afternoon. This AI by the name of Sophia.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
So you're up for that sort of competition against AI.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's the future. And there was one part where Sophia said something like, I will destroy
Human.
human. Whoa. What can she?
So as a individual being in a corporate, so this part is actually a lot of in connecting with the HR role, the L&D role, where you're talking about as a whole employer branding,
Mm.
as well as, of course, there comes the employer branding, as well as the whole organization upgrade and uplifting their quality. It's also between that career path and a little bit more of personal reasons. So things like work hygiene,
Mm.
things like the additional fun and perks and growth and development, that comes under that serving the individual level.
Wow. Okay. Interestingly, that is a business, but it's actually going deeper into an individual. Interesting.
Yep.
And what is the 5th level?
Okay. And the very, very last level, just before that, just on one point on the individual value, you notice one thing at core at heart is that all organizations are made out of human beings.
Yes.
So it still touches that human, that individual values a little bit. Now, if we actually expand that heart and look at a bigger value, that top of that peak is actually inspirational value, where we are talking about an organization serving for the betterment of others
Mm.
in areas of social responsibility, in giving hope in terms of maybe you're talking about career progression to the younger ones, how you develop, nurture them. Also things like a vision. Do you live off that organization vision?
Mm.
So that's all the 5 values. And when we sell anything, it depends on which value you are connecting and which level you are connecting at.
So do they start from the bottom, or should they learn about the 5 levels and master them and plan them in advance to prepare that conversation?
Superstars reach right at the top.
Mm.
Superstars hit right at the top.
And so our friends out there, to learn more about the how can we have meaningful conversations using the elements of value, join us in Sales Wiring. We have a wonderful special Christmas promotion because we believe that Christmas is a time of hope. And let us tell you the deal. It's 300
Alright.
ringgit, 300 ringgit for 2 packs, 2 people. So you can bring a friend, you can sponsor a friend, it can be your business partner or a couple. And it's for 8 sessions. Works out to 1.5 hours per session, works out to less than your Starbucks drink just for yourself for 1.5 hours. Why are we doing this? We are doing this to reach out to freelancers out there, professionals out there. You're not alone, gig workers out there. Okay, join us in a community to support each other, to learn how we can have a sales mindset, how we can wire ourselves and really grow our business.
And if you think that, hey, you feel a little bit lonely and sometimes you lack that support that's needed from another pair of hearing ears, you would need a community, and also sometimes mastermind sessions as well that really help you turn that one little idea that
You're not
makes
alone.
that change.
You're not alone, and it's very timely because 2021 is really going to be a great year for us. So let's do this together. Let's share the wisdom together and build this together.
And I've just calculated, if you're talking about 150 ringgit per pax for 8 sessions, one session is 1875.
ringgit Malaysia. So if you're Brunei or whatever, you divide by 3, that's like $6.
Most of the time, your lunch or your dinner would have cost more than that. So if you feel that you have friends that's in need, for example, you know, they kind of like lost their job, had a pay cut, you know, had some issues with the business, this is also a time to give them a gift of love, a gift of care, that you could actually share this with them or even for them.
Andrea and I are committed every twice a week, Monday and Wednesday, we're here on live, and we're committed to run this program every month. It goes monthly. So join us for the 1 month. You'll be wired guarantee. Not happy, refund your money, because we're here to grow each other.
And we truly believe in growing 1% better than yesterday.
Yes. Okay, everybody, we'll see you next week. If not, join us. You got our Facebook. Tag us.
You can PM us. You can find us on any of our Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'll get back to you.
Sure. Anywhere in the world is flat now. Okay.
Meanwhile, have a good week.
Have a good week.
Yep.
Be better tomorrow, 1% than yesterday. Yes.
Yes. Happy
Bye.
selling.
Happy buying.
Happy buying. Happy selling.
Bye.
Bye.